Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Friends, and today, Manifest Monday. Manifest Monday. I know on Instagram we call it Motivational Monday, but it's been motivational or Manifest Monday. Either way, it's going to work, because today we're talking about your happiness and wisdom. How your happiness and wisdom work hand in hand. And this all stems from a conversation that I was having with my 10-year-old nephew. It's a great conversation. I love the way this little joker's mind thinks, but it's right on point. So, motivational Manifest Mondays, that's what we're doing every Monday. Every Monday, the video that comes out is going to be definitely in that genre. So, if you don't check in with me any other time, check in for that. If you don't subscribe to this channel for any other reason but that, subscribe to this channel for that particular reason, that's enough. Forget the rest of the week. Take the motivation, take the manifestation, and roll with it. Just keep rolling with it. I want you to roll with me. Just roll with me on all these things. Now, I want to give gratitude for everybody who purchases from Uncle Ren's Popcorn. That's my gourmet popcorn company that I own. I want to give gratitude for everybody who subscribes to the channel. Thank you very, very much. Everybody who comments, thank you. Those who share, thank you. Everybody who is a patron, I really, really appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. And just so on and so forth. My clients that I coach, thank you so much. Gratitude all around. And that's one of the things about happiness, guys. One of the things about happiness is that you got to have gratitude. If you don't have gratitude, you're not going to be happy. If all you do is walk around complaining, that's all you're going to get in life. You know that you are surrounded by people who always want to complain. That's all they do. And they're looking for other people to complain with them. So what do you have to do? Remove yourself. I told you that on the video 2 days ago. Remove yourself. Remove yourself from those naysayers. Remove yourself from the negative people. The people that don't vibe with your tribe, you got to remove yourself from. But to what my nephew was saying, he said, are you happy? You happy with what you're doing? You see, for some of y'all, you don't know. But in order to manifest my goals for 2020 and 2021, 22, 23, for the next decade, because I'm working for the decade, in order to manifest what I desire for the decade, I went and I took a job. I know, I haven't had a job in like 15, 20 years. I don't even know how to act. It's weird to me. It's weird to everybody around me for me to have a job. Some people are like, oh, okay. Other people are like, what? What? Who? You? Job? That doesn't sound right. My kids don't even understand it. But even my nephew, he don't understand it. Because he's never known me to... This is the first time he ever seen me with a job as well. 10 years old. So he's like, are you happy at your job? And I told him, I said, well, here's the thing, sir. I'm happy because I know that the job was acquired to help me manifest what I desire over the next 10 years. I'm not happy about the fact that I got to punch someone else's clock. And I'm not happy about the fact that I can't fully control my earnings. I took a sales position, of course, because I wanted as much control as I possibly can. But I'm not fully happy about that either. And especially the controlling of my time. I said, but happiness is very subjective. And he was like, what does that mean? I said, well, some people are happy having a bunch of money. Other people are happy being poor. Some people are happy having a lot of family. Some people are happy being alone. Everybody finds happiness however they find happiness. But the problem that most people have is that they do things that they think will bring them happiness, or they're doing things that others have told them will bring them happiness, but they're not happy. And we think that money, that'll make us happy. Family will make us happy. All these other things we think will make us happy. But it's really until you look inside yourself that you really find out what's going to make you happy or not. So I gave him an example with one of my best friends. One of my best friends makes great money. Great money. Way more money than I make right now. Way more money than I've made over the last 5 years. But if you ask who was happier, he or I'm happier. He works 80 hours a week. Doesn't get to spend much time with his children. Well, his child. Doesn't get to spend much time with his wife. You know, they have their vacations, and on the surface, everything looks great. But because of the work of his job, he's not happy. Now he's created a life that requires that amount of money, so he's trapped. Me, my lifestyle doesn't require a whole bunch of money, so I have a lot of flexibility in what I can or can't do, what I need to do, have to do. A lot of flexibility, which gives me happiness, because for me, flexibility brings me happiness. Now, let's compare another friend of mine. Another friend of mine, he could be doing things to make a lot of money, but he's a police officer. He loves being a police officer in the school system. He enjoys the city that he lives in, married to the woman of his dreams, have a great time with the kids, travels and do all these things. He's a Carolina Panther fan, so I don't know what's wrong with him, but he's happy. He's ecstatically happy. He's more happy. He's happier than me for right now. But I found my lady of my dreams, so you about to lose, boy. Got to catch up to you. Rolling with you. But anyway, he's extremely happy. Been happy for years. He's been happier than I have over the last 5 or 6 years because he had the woman of his dreams in his life while I was looking for mine. All right? Didn't know she was right in front of me, but hey, there she is. Got it. But he was happier. It's all subjective. So my question to you guys is, what makes you happy? And are you doing it? Some of you have backed yourself into a corner where all of a sudden you can't change your job. You can't change the way you live. You can't change the people around you for the most part. Well, you can change them people around you, but you're a little trapped. The goal is to get out of the trap. Figure out how you cannot be in the trap. And that's why I told my nephew, this is where wisdom comes in. And he said, are you wise? And I said, sir, I am wise in some areas and not wise in other areas. And he looked at me strange and was like, how can you not be wise? I was like, because. He said, because he was like, how can you not be wise if you know what it is that will make you wise and things? I said, well, people have a misunderstanding. People think that having knowledge makes you wise, but it doesn't. So I asked him, I said, what is knowledge? Does knowledge make you wise? He was like, well, yeah. I said, no. Knowledge doesn't just make you wise. Knowledge is just having the information, having the facts. Many people have the facts. And I gave him an example. I'm going to give that example to you guys. I said, sir, do you believe that 99% of the people on the planet understands basic math of plus and addition? I mean, addition and minuses. Subtraction. Addition and subtraction. And he was like, yeah. Well, at first he said, I don't know. Is everybody went to school? People may not be in first grade, third grade, whatever grade. I said, well, let me put it like this. Even a person who's never been to school before, if you gave him 10 apples and then you took 5, would that person know that they only got 5 apples left, or would they think they still got 10 apples? Even if they didn't know how to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, they still recognize they don't have as many as they had before. So everybody basically have an understanding of addition and subtraction. Yet, 2017, banks made $34 billion on overdraft fees because people don't apply basic math. And we can go into people having enough, they live on this, that, and the third. But even that comes into wisdom because we have the knowledge, especially if you're a Western country, you're living in a westernized country. So I asked him, I said, okay, so those people, they basically know, but yet they still can't budget their money. They still spend more money than they earn. Do you think that person is wise with their money? And he was like, well, no, they can't be because they're not doing it. I said, so what is wisdom? He said, wisdom is being able to apply the knowledge. I said, to a certain degree. You're right, but you're missing a key element. And this is the other element that I think keeps most people from truly being able to be wise and succeed and therefore have happiness. I can give you all the knowledge. I can give you all the information. As a matter of fact, I have given people information on these videos to the point where you could change your life forever. Basic accounting, basic investment, how to get healthy, all this information I've given the people. And the question then is, why haven't they applied it? And I told them it's 2 reasons why they haven't applied it. The first one is the secondary thing that's missing that you have in the trivium. He was like, what's the trivium? The trivium is facts, your knowledge, your understanding, and your wisdom. Your grammar, your logic, and your rhetoric. I said, that's what wisdom is. In order for you to truly obtain wisdom, you have to have an understanding of the information that you was given. Because if you don't have an understanding, and listen to me guys, listen to me. If you do not have an understanding of the information that you were given, then you will not effectively apply it to your life and therefore not have wisdom in that area of your life. Because you went into it with a lack of understanding, so your application was lacking. You went into it without the ability to actually fulfill it because you didn't fully understand it. It's like when I was getting into IT, and I'm gonna be honest with you guys. When I got into IT, me and I'm gonna tell on you, Troy. Me and Troy and a couple other guys, we memorized 188 to 200 questions and answers, and And then we went into the testing center, and if we saw the question that we already memorized, we knew what the answer was, we put it down. We passed the test, we got certified. And back in the 1999 and 2000, all you needed was a certification to get on the job. But we lacked the understanding of the knowledge we had. In order for us to get work, we was able to get to the interview, but we knew before we showed up, we had to be in those labs, working it, so that we gain understanding before we walked into a job. We can pass the test, get our foot in the door, but we had to get the understanding before we walked into a job. A lot of people do that. You went to school, you learn, but it didn't stick with you because you lacked a certain level of understanding of it. And the reason why you lack that understanding, and here's the crux of it, this is how you get deep understanding. You have to believe in it to the point where you know that you know that you know. That your inner knower knows that you know that you know. You may not get that. So let me put it. You gain the knowledge. You have a base understanding of it. But when you go and try to apply that understanding, things don't work out. Why is that? Because your understanding of it is not in your core being. You don't understand it to a point where you don't just regurgitate it in exactly how it was spelled out to you, but you talk about it using your own words, using your own description, using your own experiences. You've connected it to different parts of your lifestyle, different parts of your being. You connected it to different things that's going on around you, which gives you a level of understanding that shows that you truly know it. And when you truly know it and you believe it at that level, then when you apply it, it's totally different, because when you apply it, there's nothing that can stop you from it. I tell you guys all the time, you got to save 10% of what you earn. I've been spewing that for the last 10 years on YouTube. And honestly, how many people, if you've heard me say this for a year, how many of you are actually applying that to your lifestyle? How many are saying, well, I'm going to do it when I get a raise. Well, I'm going to do it when I pay off this bill. Well, I'm going to do it when I get a new job. Well, Well, llama is off with the llamas in Peru, spitting on everything. You got to, when you are doing it, you know it. When you're doing it, you're saying that it doesn't matter how much everything. If that means I'm not going to the movies as often, I'm not going to the movies as often. If that means I got to give up cigarettes, I'm going to give up cigarettes. If that means I'm only drinking 1 bottle of Hennessy or 1 bottle of wine a week, then I'm only drinking 1 bottle or no bottles. If that means that our date nights have to be planned for things that are less expensive and more creative, then that's what the date night's going to be. If that means that when I go shopping, I can't go to this store, but I got to go to the bargain store first, then that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do whatever is necessary to affect my life in a way of saving this 10% of every dollar I make, because I believe in it to the point where I'm going to have wisdom about it. You see, that's the applying of the wisdom, because you believe in it at that level. But until you do it, you don't believe in it at that level. Now, let me give a little bit of wiggle room. Some people do have to work their lives towards it, but when they are, you can see it. It's evident because you get there. The results shows. I told you guys when I first started looking at The Richest Man in Babylon, first started conceptualizing the idea of saving 10% of what you earn is yours to keep. And see, that's the thing. It just comes out in flow. 10% of what you earn is yours to keep. That was like in 1991 when I was 112% leveraged. I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, figuring out how it worked. It took me 3 years to get to where I was only living on 70% of what I earned. Some of that came through getting a promotion. Some of that came through working, starting a cleaning company at night. Some of that came through watching what we spend and couponing at the PX, and a lot of it came through money saving techniques that were employed over those 3 years, and we was able to get to a point where we can start saving that 10%, which as soon as I got to 90%, well actually as soon as I got below 100, I started saving it. So when I was at 99%, 1% went to savings, went to paying myself the investment fund. Then when I was at 97%, 3% went, and so on and so forth until it was 10. And then once it was 10 and I was living on 90% of what I made, then the other 10% came into play, the 10% for savings and the 10% for play money. So we didn't have play money until I got to 70%. But yet before that, play had to come from being creative. Spent a lot of time doing things on base, that was free, or just hanging out downtown, or took a portion of the grocery money and said, well, this is how many times we're going to eat out, and we're going to use those eat outs for our play based on our grocery money. So we made it work until we got to that point, because I believed in it. I believed in it. And one of the reasons I believed in it, because a guy who had showed that to me, I watched him go in 3 years and buy multiple houses. And he did that by not spending. He lived on base, didn't spend a dime, all his money saved in boot camp. And I watched him do that. So I believed it because I watched somebody do it. So I knew it can be done. All you need is one example of something to know that you can do it too. So I believed it because I saw him do it. Then I believed it because I saw, when I looked deeper and saw where the money was going, I saw, oh, okay, I saw the reality of me. I saw the truth of what was going on. Now, there are 3 kinds of truth. And that's a whole video on it in itself. There are 3 kinds of truth. There's the political truth. There's your personal subjective truth. And then there is just the facts of the truth, well, no matter what it is. Whether you like it or not, whether the politicians flip it or not, there's just truth, right? There's just, you can't go against it. But you can politicize your way or emotionalize your way away from that truth. So there are 3 types of truth, and I recognize what is the just pure truth of my financial situation, my lifestyle, and how can I affect it to the point where I can have wisdom in my finances. And here's the thing, you'll fluctuate. There's been times where I've done it, there's been times that I haven't. But the goal is to get to that point where you believe in something enough that it never fluctuates again. And that's the direction that you have to move into if you want to find happiness, is finding out, deep introspective, looking inside yourself, finding out what is it that will really truly make you happy, and then what is the knowledge that you need in order to get you at least on the pathway of that happiness. And then the second thing, gaining that deep level of understanding to the point where you have belief in that information that is pure truth, not your perspective truth, your subjective truth, and then applying it. Once you have that true belief, you can then apply it. And that's what me and my nephew was talking about. And on a motivational Manifest Monday, and in order for you to motivate your, and that just sounded so crazy, but to motivate your manifestations on this Monday, I want you guys to get into an understanding of that. Have that as a part of your core, your being, and you'll see the results of how to find your happiness. You decide what is your happiness and then go after it. Don't give 2 rats about what anybody says about it, and just go get it. Just go get it. If people don't like it, so what? So it's not their life. You're living for you and no one else, and you can't live for anybody else anyway. So that's it for today. Motivation Monday. Y'all have a great day. Manifest everything that you want to have in life. Continue to grow. Continue to build and become great and fantastic in everything that you do. Love you guys. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable.